Hello gamers and welcome to another YouTube video. I promise you the videos will keep coming, and they will actually keep coming as well. So today on the big vehicle rebalance, I will not go over every single tank, but I will highlight the ones mainly between 8 and 10 that I think are pretty neat and interesting that you may know about. But there's so many, some big, some not so big. That there is a lot of stuff that is going to be changed here. There's a 47-page list, but let's go over the article first. These are the details. Then less clutter, more gameplay, which means that the tech tree got simplified. They could have put this in a simpler message as well. You see how it just removes guns that are not really popular, not really used, to make it more streamlined. I think radios got removed all in general as well, which is just in general a pretty nice thing. I've heard some people complain about, oh, they're taking away this gun or that gun. Personally, I can understand that, but I don't. There's also so little people using those alternative configurations. I'm not sure if like it's really a big thing. Tier 1 to tier 10 buffs. Scouts come with more HP. I am not entirely sure yet how I feel about that. I guess it can make sense. I really need to see how it plays out, because like buffing a Manticore HP IMO is more impactful than buffing a WZ Light HP. So that is something that I still need to see how it plays out. Premiums get improved. Very nice thing. Buffing these premiums, yeah, that's good. They suck. Premium vehicles in gold will be decreased individually based on their tier and specifics, which is also just a nice thing. We love discounts, don't we? Yeah, so WZ getting buffed. You know, across the board, a nice thing. I don't know if it's going to make it that competitive, to be honest. The FCM needs... Yeah, 1 second of reload is a lot. If it's going to be enough, I don't know. It will still be a giant box. That's pretty nice for the MOEs, especially the average damage buff will be very nice, up to 300. This one would need a lot. Plus 5 kilometers per hour and plus 50 alpha. We'll see how it plays out. I don't think it will be very good still, but you know, nonetheless, this one plus 6 kilometers, engine power, third traverse, gun reload, dispersion, definitely needed for this one. 590 needs a lot as well, so buffed across the board almost. Good. And then WZ114 needs a lot as well. Okay. Will it be enough? Probably not, to be honest. Like, probably not. But across the board, it's a good thing. There's also the video, which we're going to watch together now. See if there's something interesting in this.
Introducing a new tier. It's an extensive array of changes, and at its core is a big rebalance. Adjustments have been made to almost every vehicle roster. Hundreds of vehicles. The characteristics of all the vehicles you see have been improved. Some of the changes are related to the expansion of vehicle tiers, but most of them have been needed for a while, and Update 2.0 was the time to make them. In this video, we'll cover the main changes, while the full list is available on the game portal.
Main changes. All right.
Vehicle branches more enjoyable.
We talked about that.
Added more freedom of choice. From tier 1 to tier 11, choose any branch and advance through it with your gun held high. All the vehicles along the way will be playable as soon as you purchase them. In several recent rebalances, we removed outdated stock modules, introduced
completely fine in my opinion.
Those that remained. This approach proved effective, so we've now applied it to all tech tree branches. The stock configurations of hundreds of vehicles have been improved. The top configuration will remain the best option, but the gap between different setups is now significantly reduced. That means you can enjoy researching new branches even more as you make your way to tier 11. What's more, every branch will now be easier and faster to progress through thanks to systemic module adjustments. Suspension load capacity has been removed for all vehicles.
Nice thing. We talked about this already. It's like, you know, annoying that you can't mount certain equipment because you don't have load limit.
Now, the suspension only affects your vehicle's behavior in battle and no longer restricts you from mounting other modules. Different suspensions on the same vehicle no longer affect its crossing capacity. All researchable vehicles have had their stock radios removed.
Radios are the most useless thing in
Now
this
it's
game.
one tank, one radio. This means you won't have to spend valuable XP on modules that barely offer any efficiency boost. Every module matters. But we're not stopping there. Many vehicles, including Tier 10s, have received improvements to their top configurations. Most of the changes are small and precise, but there's one big exception. Players have been asking for it for a long time, and now its time has come. The Type 5 Heavy has had its frontal armor reworked.
I don't know if this is a good thing, but we'll see.
Now, its survivability will better match its super heavy role. Its 140mm gun has been removed, and its main and now only 150mm gun combines the best of both. It's now more accurate and fires AP shells, while HE shells take on their usual role as the third shell. Targeted changes have also improved a number of mid-tier vehicles. Some of the more powerful ones have been toned down. A necessary
The
step when
tortoise.
you need to fine-tune balance across
Pepe
all
hands, man.
vehicles. Light tanks deserve a special mention. Several scouts have been improved in the areas they needed it most. While all researchable light tanks from mid to high tiers have received a significant boost to their hit points. This will let light tanks perform their scout duties longer without turning them into competitors against medium tanks.
They can just suicide in
On premium vehicles
35
continues.
seconds instead of 30.
This update has seen several
Yeah,
out-of-date
premium vehicles, we don't
vehicles
care. Okay, so we don't care about premium vehicles, we already went over that. The list here, let's just say what is the most important, in my opinion, is tier 10. Let's go over it one to one. Not a tank I necessarily thought needed to be buffed, but nonetheless, nice. Okay, I thought the 1-to-1 was pretty decent already, so, you know, anything to it is nice. 70. This doesn't tackle the real issue about this tank, by the way. Like, none of this tackles the real issue of this tank, and that is simply that it's too big. To be honest, to be, like, really a light tank in any shape, way, or form. Sure, this is all really, really nice, but too big. 5A. Engine power, that's it. Okay, I mean, I think it could have done with a little bit of armor buff around certain spots on the turret, but nonetheless, TVP, engine power, and durability, it's a minor buff. It's really a minor buff. We'll not check out much, it's just some comfort. VZ55, this is the single shooting gun that gets 530 alpha and 315 APCR penetration. But a reload increase and an aiming time decrease might actually be interesting to play it with a single shotgun now. To sack, durability, of course, reload time goes up. It loses some shells in the magazine, but the damage goes up. So shorter exposure time, right? So shorter exposure time, okay, not bad. I like it. 50B, dispersion during movement, dispersion on health, traverse speed, and engine power. Minor buff, but you know, comfort again. Nothing too huge though, or too massive for the 50B there. And the AMX M4, dispersion, aiming time, dispersion on third, traverse. This is for the small gun all, yeah? This is the 120. I think the other one's the 130. I'm not entirely sure because the other one's AP as main ammo. This one is APCR. So, not that interested in. 105. I mean, I think there's not much to buff about this. EBR. Vehicle durability. So it gets a smaller HP buff. Okay. Moose. What is the mouse getting? Engine power. Okay. Comfort, E50M, half front. Okay, that's nice. Engine power, reload time, 0.4. That's already decently impactful. So a comfort buff to the E50, half front, nice. Okay, Gorilla doesn't really need anything either. Other champ, durability, I wouldn't buff anything else on that either. Progetto finally getting a buff. Dispersion, aiming time. Dispersion after firing, could have even done with a reload buff again, but at least finally something happening to the Progetto. Nice comfort again. STB, not enough either way. Like, it doesn't matter. I will still hate it. Type 5, this is the one people are very interested about, right? Hull front armor. I'm gonna have to see actually like the armor model, how it's going to look like exactly for that. Third front, we just have to see if that's everything or not. You know, like this doesn't say, like we need to see an actual armor model. Reload, dispersion, aiming time. I mean, it looks like it's going to be pretty good now, to be honest. To me, the HE has 130 millimeters of pen. That is still a lot, by the way. That will pen a lot of things with HE. 60p, yeah, I saw a lot of memes about this. Okay, doesn't mean anything. Cran, comfort buff, penetration, velocity buff. Okay, doesn't really change too much. 310, slightly more comfortable. I think people are still gonna do not like it because of the gun though. STRV, engine power. A lot of engine power buffs here. Engine power buff, engine power buff. Traverse speed buff. Not oh, this one is big as well. 100 HP, dispersion, 460. Might actually be interesting to play now. It will still suck at driving, but it will actually be interesting to play. Need to see how that plays out, but this is a well-deserved buff. And with 460, I guess it wants to establish itself as a different kind of medium from the Leopard because it has more alpha by 40, which is quite a lot actually. Manticore, ammo capacity buff. I can't believe we had to wait that long for it, but you know, across the board, nice. Pattern, dispersion, traverse. Actually nice. Comfort buffs again. This will be pretty nice. T57 heavy, engine power, and ammo capacity. Beautiful. We don't like balance on shells. Sheridan. Reverse speed, durability gets to 50. Dispersion. This is still half a medium. This is not a light tank. If you want to perform in this, you have to play like half a medium, so it will still suck in my opinion. IS4, engine power, ammo capacity. Again, we should not balance by ammo capabilities. Comfort buff to the IS7, 310. I would have liked to maybe see the alpha be increased to 520, 530 like the VZ as well, but there's that. Object 140 gets a massive buff though. Engine power, vehicle durability. Turret front, reload time, pretty hefty buff as well. Aiming time, APCR damage to 340. Across the board, 140 might be a little bit more potent now. Need to see and test it. You know, 140 is already better than 907 in my opinion because it has that little bit of gun depression that the 907 doesn't have. So that's pretty interesting as well. Then of course T100, nothing outside of that. 430U, engine power buff. Could have maybe done a bit more in Quillen, you know, being the Quillen. Now let's move. I'm going to go until tier 8, by the way. I'm not covering tier 7. Weezy 120 gets a lot of buffs as well. Full, like, look how much is being buffed here. Very impactful. I didn't think the tank was that bad already, but across the board getting a pretty decent buff. This is the 122, which is the gun almost everybody uses. Aiming time buff, but depression buff 5.5 I think is more than the 121 has, or the same because 121 also has 5. Weezy 114, I don't even know if this needs these buffs, to be honest. But, you know, it's going to be comfort anyways, nonetheless. I don't really think that it needed a buff, but, you know, there's that. This one needs all the buffs it's going to get. But this one is actually better than its tier 10 counterpart because it's smaller. So there's that. Stop crunching the cable cat. Talked about this. And here we go into the actual nerf department though. I don't know if this tank really needed this amount of nerfs. I've played it and it's like surprising that they nerfed this but not the tier 10 because this one honestly, yeah, it's good, but I also wouldn't say it's like this good to get like nerfed by this because this is a pretty big nerf to the heat, minus 45 millimeters. You know, 1.5 seconds extra reload, pretty big nerf IMO. This one as well needed all these buffs, but it does not fix the problem of this tank in my opinion. And the problem of this tank is those lights on the corners that ruin your gun depression. It will be definitely more comfortable to play, but it will still be annoying because of that. Skoda, honestly, I don't think that this tank needed any buffs. That's the thing. I really don't know if this tank needed any buffs whatsoever. To be honest, so this gun is being turned into an autoloader, but I honestly don't know if this tank needed a buff. Really don't know. This one needs the buff though. Wait, it's being nerfed. Why is this being nerfed? Ah, but wait. Aiming time. Doesn't like it would buff this tank a lot and I'm not seeing it. I'm really not seeing it unless I'm misunderstanding that. And then Selma, you know, I can't comment on that. It's just a light tank. This one is also big, to be honest. I saw this one already. So this gets a little bit of everything across the board, and it goes from 3.3 to 2.5. That is the most impactful part about this thing. That's pretty big for a buff being in line with the 50B. That's it's really potent. Everything else is high comfort, but this is impactful for the damage. Then this one should be nerfed. The bats should be buffed even further. Like, I mean, you're buffing basically everything on this tank, you know, like it doesn't make sense. And it goes from a 6-shell autoloader to a 5-shell autoloader. Important to note as well, less exposure time, of course 1 less shell as well, but the damage goes to 360. Really nice buff, to be honest. Really nice buff. Will make this tank a lot better. This tank is being buffed, even though it should be nerfed. Interesting. This should be nerfed to the ground. With a small buff. This tank, it loses a bit of top speed, but gets higher engine power. The 120 is being buffed. This is another tank that I wouldn't say needs to be buffed whatsoever. This one definitely needs the buffs that is coming to it. I'm just looking if there's anything really. This one's being nerfed a little bit with vehicle durability. This one is actually getting a small buff and also a nerf on different departments at the same time. So there's that, and then the gun is getting, you know, a little bit more random. E50 getting buffed, which is amazing because I love the E50. I'm looking for really big buffs here. You know, the PTA being buffed. Yeah, I mean, right, interesting. Not sure about that one either, you know. Is there anything else super standard B needs to get a big buff. It is getting a pretty decent buff as well. Type 4 needs to be getting a big buff as well. Type 68 doesn't need a buff whatsoever, to be honest, but it's getting one. So there's that. But so far, these are a lot of minor buffs, to be honest. Like, nothing truly to super stand out. RD being buffed is funny. Tortoise is being nerfed a little bit of HP, deservedly so, because the Tortoise is kind of bad. Then the T30, small buffs. This one is getting a pretty decent buff again. Contender is getting a buff as well. But I think that's about it for the really big buffs that I wanted to talk about on tier 9. This one is getting buffed again as well, which is already a really good tank as well. But the ones that I'm like really confused about, which I saw already, is these, like, this tank is being buffed. I think the 110 is an amazing tank already. The TVP VTU is an interesting one. It gets now an autoloader, right? It goes through an autoloader. Will this fix the tank? All of this, I'm not sure, but the autoloader will increase comfort very much because of the fact you can, you know, burst. The 5100 is getting a massive buff as well, in my opinion, like a really big buff. Big decrease aiming time, minus 0.23 between the shells, so all really big, also really big. And then tanks like the Tiger 2 are getting further buffed, which is Tiger 2 is already amazing. PK also of A is actually also amazing being buffed. Those are things to take into consideration, but there's so many. I feel like I've already covered the, you know, the main ones in this regard. T32 is also being buffed, and then for lower tiers, I'm not somebody that can really talk about lower tiers because I'm quite clueless. But I just wanted to go mainly over the tier 10 ones and how impactful they're going to be. It's not that much tier 10. It's mainly tier 9 and tier 8 that is getting the biggest buffs across, which will be helpful for those tanks. Bring them a little bit closer to their tier 9 and tier 10 counterparts, to be honest. But yeah, there's so many more details. I feel like I covered the biggest one for tier 8. Let me go over it if I'm missing something. Pantera deserves a decent buff. It is getting a decent buff. There's something else that I'm forgetting about. I do not think so. The only thing that's missing is like TA32 potentially here as well. And yeah, that's about it. Anyhow, gamers, is this balance something that you're excited about? Let me know in the comments down below. Just wanted to talk about it quickly and show that it's not really super groundbreaking, but there's a lot of really nice stuff in that. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys all in the very next one. Thank you. Have a good one.